Hello dear children and welcome to the class of mathematics. Today we are going to begin with an interesting topic. The name of the topic is probability. This is chapter number 15 from our textbook. This concept of probability originated in 16th century when an Italian physicist and a mathematician, J. Cardan, wrote the first book on this subject. And the name of the book was Games of Chance. And after the publication of this book, the study of probability has attracted the attention of great mathematicians during that time. Later on, this study of probability and the information regarding probability helped to solve problems in pertaining to the game of chance, such as throwing a die, tossing a coin, drawing a card from a pack of 52 cards, and so many other things. So starting with the game of chance, probability today has become one of the basic tools in statistics, and it has a wide range of applications in the field of science, economics, sociology and engineering. I am sure this chapter will be very interesting and easy for you. So let's understand what exactly this probability is and how it is calculated. So children, in your day-to-day life, we come across so many questions like, will it rain today? Yeah? Then we always think, will I get A grade in my examination? Then you may think like, will I reach home on time after the party? Isn't it? And then certain questions like, will India be a champion in the World Cup? All such questions in our day-to-day life we use. But answer to such questions are not 100% sure. We are not sure of the answers. Will India win championship in the World Cup? Yes or no? There is uncertainty in our answer. We are not sure whether yes or no. So, probability is a measure of uncertainty of various things which we think or various phenomena. Now, this uncertainty can be calculated in terms of number, and the science of calculating the uncertainty in terms of number is probability. And I'll say that probability is one of the branches of mathematics which measures the uncertainty of the occurrence of an event using numbers. So in simple language, I will again tell you that all our answers which are uncertain, this uncertainty can be calculated in terms of numbers, and this concept or this method is nothing but probability. To understand how this uncertainty is calculated in terms of numbers, we need to know certain terms and the concept in finding the probability. So one by one, let's understand what all terms and concepts we need to know to find out all our uncertain answers in terms of numbers. So the first is experiment. Now what is an experiment? It is a process which results in some well-defined outcomes. For example, say when I tossed a coin, I know when I tossed a coin, my result will be either head or a tail. So tossing a coin is an experiment. Okay, so the process of tossing a coin, the process which results in giving some well-defined outcome or well-defined answer, that is an experiment. I'll give you a second example, that when you throw a die, your answer will be either 1 may appear on the top, or 2 may appear on the top, or 3 may come, 4 may come, 5 may come, or 6 may come on the top. So this throwing a die is an experiment. So the action which you do to find out certain answers, that is an experiment. Alright. The next term which is required is outcome. What is the meaning of outcome? The result of experiment is called as an outcome. Okay, so a random experiment may result in 2 or more outcome. Experiment or random experiment is the same. So when I toss a coin, my result is either head or tail. So what result you get is an outcome. Alright. Then when you throw a die, what result comes on the top of the die? Suppose in this case, when you throw the die, the result comes is 2. So 2 is an outcome. Understood? So the result of an experiment is the outcome. Our next term is sample space. Now sample space is set of all possible outcome of an experiment, and this sample space is denoted by letter S and it is represented by curly bracket. With an example, it will be very clear to you. Say when we toss a coin once, I'll toss a coin once. So either head may turn up or a tail may come. So there are 2 possible results in this. There are 2 possible outcome in this. Thus, the sample space of this experiment is given by S is equal to H comma T in a curly bracket. H stand for head and T stand for tail. So the set of all possible outcome of an experiment is sample space. Alright. So when you toss a coin, the outcome is either head or a tail, and that is a sample space. Let's see another example. When you roll a dice, okay, so it may land with any of its 6 faces pointing upward. The outcome of this experiment is any of the 6 numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So in our case, in this case, when you roll a dice, the sample space will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will be in curly bracket. So all possible outcome of an experiment is called as sample space, and it is denoted by letter S. Next term or concept is sample points. So the elements of sample space are called as sample points. Every outcome of the sample space is sample point. Alright. So when you roll a dice, you have got 6 sample points in that. Alright. So it is the element of the sample space is a sample point. Then comes a very important term or a concept, I must say, that is an event. So event is a favorable outcome. Favorable outcome means, I'll give you the explanation with an example. Say when a die is rolled, I know my possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I said, what is the possibility of getting a number less than 5? This also I can predict the result. The possibility is I may get 1, 2, 3 or 4. Isn't it? So when you are already aware, or when you can already predict the result, the favorable outcome, you already know that is an event. So event can be denoted by any capital letter. It can be A, B, C, D, or any capital letter you can denote the event. So the question is, write an event of getting a number less than 5 when you roll a die. You will write the event as A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 in a curly bracket. So event is a favorable outcome. That is the outcome which you can predict. Next is the types of event. Alright. So elementary event. What is the meaning of elementary event? If an event has only one possible outcome of the experiment, then it is an elementary event. For example, suppose a coin is tossed. All possible outcomes are either head or tail. But if I describe the event, what is the event of getting head? When you toss a coin, the possibility of getting head is only one, that is head. So you have only one outcome there, that is an elementary event. When you toss a coin, write an event of getting a tail. So the event of getting a tail is only one. Such event is elementary event where there is only one possible outcome. Alright. Next is impossible event. Impossible event is if there is no possibility of an event to occur, then the probability is 0. Then there is 0 possibility of getting the result. This is called as an impossible event. For example, say write an event of getting a number which is greater than 6 when you rolled a die. Here the possibility is 0. When you roll a die, the possibility is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Where will you get number 7? So this is impossible event. Second is, what is the possibility, or write an event of a horse that will grow wing and then start flying. Is it possible? The horse will never grow and have wings to fly. So this is an impossible event. Alright, so if there is no possibility of an event to occur, then that event is impossible event. Then I told you that for an experiment, when you do an experiment, whatever results you get, those results are called as an outcome. There are types of outcome. First is equally likely outcomes. Now suppose if we have same possibility of getting each outcome, then it is called as an equally likely outcome. For example, when you throw a die, now there is equal possibility that 1 may appear on the top, 2 may appear on the top, 3 may appear on the top, and likewise up till 6 may appear on the top. So there is equal possibility of all the numbers appearing on the top. So such outcome are equally likely outcome. When I throw a die, there is 50% possibility, or there is equal possibility of getting head on the top or tail on the top. Such outcome are equally likely outcomes. Next is not equally likely outcomes. What is the meaning of not equally likely outcomes? So if we do not have the same possibility of getting each outcome, then it is said to be equally likely outcome. For example, suppose if I have a bag, and a bag has 4 red balls and 2 yellow balls. Naturally, number of red balls are more. So in such case, the possibility of getting either a red or a yellow ball is not equally likely, because number of red balls are more. So when you take out randomly any ball from the bag, the possibility of getting a red ball is more here. So 4 red balls and 2 yellow balls are not equally likely, as the possibility of the red ball is 4 and the possibility of the yellow ball is 2. So there is more possibility of getting a red ball here. So such you can say outcome is not equally likely outcome. So all these terms and concepts we will be using for calculating the probability of the given problem to us. Now comes the very important formula which we will be using to find the probability. Children, in 9th standard also we learned very basics about this chapter. In 9th standard, the probability which we calculated was the experimental or empirical probability. Now the meaning of experimental or empirical probability is that the result of the probability is based on doing the actual experiment and finding the results. But now the new thing in standard 10th is we will be having a theoretical approach to find the probability. And theoretical approach means what? We will predict the results without performing the experiment. So when a die is thrown, we can predict the result. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So in all the problems or in all the sums which we will be doing in standard 10th, the results will be already predicted by us. We will be already knowing the results, and based on that we will find the probability. So the formula which we will be using to find probability will be P of E. E stand for an event. P stand for probability. So probability of an event E is number of favorable outcomes of the event upon total number of possible outcome. Alright, so this formula we will be using. P of E is equal to number of favorable outcome divided by total number of possible outcome. So number of favorable outcome means we will first find out the event, and the result of the event is number of favorable outcome, and total number of possible outcome is what all we will be writing in the sample space. Alright, so with this formula we will solve our exercise from this chapter of probability, and I am very sure you will find this exercise very easy and interesting, and it will be a good lesson to understand and learn. So see you in the next video lesson. We will solve the numericals based on probability. Till then, bye and take care.